It's a bombshell, a scandal that shakes the foundations of Spanish football. Nico Williams, the crack, the pearl, the rough diamond of Athletic Club, has signed with FC Barcelona. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, Barcelona has pulled off the deal of the century, and in Bilbao, they are enraged. Anger, chaos, and storm have erupted. Athletic supporters have lost their minds. They have destroyed murals and published incendiary statements. It's unprecedented. If you fully support Williams' transfer and oppose these kinds of actions against young stars, subscribe to the channel now and show your passion for Barcelona. Today, in Barcelona Unfiltered, we analyze this thunderbolt, defend our club tooth and nail, and put everyone in their place. It's FC Barcelona, and no one can stop us. Come on, Cules, this is going to be epic. Come on, Cules, let's get straight to the point. Nico Williams, the 22-year-old winger who left everyone speechless in La Liga and at Euro 2024, is officially a FC Barcelona player. It's a fact. The guy who dribbles as if he's dancing, who outmaneuvers, assists, scores, and does it all, will now wear the blue and garnet jersey. This is the transfer we dreamed of, the one we clamored for at the camp. And how did we get it? With intelligence, determination, and the magic of Barcelona, which always knows how to close the most impossible deals. As we know, the agreement is for 6 seasons until 2031. Nico agreed to reduce his salary to fulfill his dream of playing for Barcelona, showing that this boy has not only talent but also a cool heart. The release clause, those 58 million euros that were so feared, was handled masterfully by Joan Laporta and Deco, although there are rumors that the payment will be made in installments. Barcelona moved heaven and earth to get La Liga's approval and to register Nico without any issues. Almo 2.0 won't happen, Cules. This time everything is under control. But the juiciest part of all this isn't just the transfer, it's the reaction in Bilbao. Athletic Club is on fire, and it's not without reason. Nico was their star, their symbol, the pride of Lezama, and now Barcelona is taking him away. Well, that's football, ladies and gentlemen. The great ones always attract the best, and Barcelona is the greatest of them all. But beware, what's happening in Bilbao is worthy of a horror movie. We're going to dissect everything, Cules. Hold on tight, because what's happening in Bilbao is pure fire. Athletic Club and its supporters have entered panic mode, rage, and, frankly, ridicule. Nico Williams, who has spent his entire life at the club, who grew up in its academy, who shares the locker room with his brother Inaki, has decided to take the step to Barcelona, and in Bilbao, they are not taking it well at all. And how are they showing it? With one scandal after another. Let's talk first about the mural. Yes, that iconic mural in Baracaldo where Nico appeared alongside his brother Inaki and former player Iker Muniain, lifting the Copa del Rey trophy. What did some Athletic supporters do? They vandalized it, painted Nico's face with red spray paint, and wrote, "Whether you leave or stay, you have lost our respect." Seriously, Bilbao, is this how you treat a 22-year-old guy who has given everything for you? This isn't passion, it's a disgrace. Nico hasn't killed anyone. He has just chosen to fulfill his dream of playing for the best club in the world. Athletic, instead of calming spirits, has poured oil on the fire. They released a very harsh official statement, saying that those who vandalized the mural do not represent the club and that disrespecting one of our own is disrespecting Athletic. But come on, isn't that a bit hypocritical? Because the club did nothing to support Nico at that moment. Instead of accepting that a young player wants to grow, they let the supporters lose control and fueled the drama. What class! Barcelona, on the other hand, has handled all this with elegance. Deco met with Nico's agent, Felix Tinta, closed the deal, and announced it without making a circus out of it. That's what it means to be a club, gentlemen Cules. And that's not all. There are rumors that Athletic is trying to put a spanner in the works of the transfer. They say they don't want to negotiate the payment terms with Barcelona but would be willing to do so with Bayern Munich. Excuse me, but what is this personal vendetta against Barcelona? Because it smells like Athletic would prefer Nico to go to Germany rather than see him triumph at the camp. How petty! But rest assured, Cules, Nico has already made it clear that his priority is Barcelona. Bayern, Arsenal, Chelsea, they can all forget it. This guy is blue and garnet at heart. Let's set things straight, Cules. Athletic Club is handling this affair in the worst possible way. Instead of accepting that Nico Williams wants to take a step forward in his career, They are acting as if they have been betrayed. But come on, what did they expect? Nico is 22 years old, an international star. He was key at Euro 2024, he scored the first goal in the final against England, and he has offers from the best clubs in Europe. Really, did they think he was going to stay in Bilbao his whole life? With all due respect to Athletic, which is a historic club, but Barcelona is another galaxy. The problem with Athletic is that they believe their own narrative, this idea that we are a family, that we only play with Basques, that no one leaves us. But modern football doesn't work like that. Players have ambitions. They want to win the Champions League, they want to play in stadiums like the Camp Nou, they want to share the locker room with stars like LAMINE, YAMAL, PEDRI, or GAVI, and Nico is no exception. He has been clear. He wants to play for Barcelona, he wants to be part of Hansi Flick's exciting project, and instead of respecting his decision, Athletic and its supporters are demonizing him. Let's talk numbers because that also hurts Bilbao. Nico has played 167 matches with Athletic, scored 31 goals, and provided 30 assists. He is extraordinary, and all this at just 22 years old. Imagine what he can do at Barcelona, with a playing system that enhances wingers, with teammates who will give him golden balls. It's a steal, Kules. For 58 million, we have signed a player who is easily worth 100 million, and Athletic, instead of being proud of having trained such talent, is crying because he is leaving. Move on, guys. Now, Kules, let's dream a little because if Nico Williams' transfer is a scandal due to the drama in Bilbao, on the field, it will be a revolution. This guy fits like a glove into Hansi Flick's scheme. Barcelona needed a pure left winger, someone who opens up the game, who takes on defenders, who breaks through defenses, and Nico is exactly that. With him on the left, LAMINE Yamal on the right, and a midfield with PEDRI, GAVI, and Olmo, this team will be unstoppable. According to experts, Nico's arrival will change the role of some players. Rafinha, who has been spectacular this season, could move to play more centrally as an attacking midfielder or even as a false nine. Imagine a trident with Nico, Yamal, and Rafinha, with Lewandowski or Dani Olmo coming in from the second line. It's a nightmare for any defense. And that's not all. Nico brings youth, audacity, speed, and, above all, a hunger for titles. This guy didn't come to take a stroll, he came to make history. Moreover, the connection with LAMINE Yamal is going to be out of this world. We've already seen them together on the Spanish national team, destroying rivals at the Euro. Nico and LAMINE understand each other blindfolded. They are friends, accomplices, and now they will share the locker room at Barcelona. This is not just a transfer, it's the birth of a duo that can mark an era. Who needs Mbappe when we have Nico and LAMINE? No one, Kules. Let's return to the drama because we can't let Athletic get away with this. They are trying to paint Barcelona as the villain of the story, as if we stole Nico through betrayal. But let's rewind. Barcelona did things right. Deco met with Nico's agent, they reached an agreement professionally, and are ready to pay the €58 million clause. Where is the problem? That Athletic doesn't want to accept that their model has limits. You can't hold back a player who wants to fly higher. And then there's the story of Bayern Munich. According to some rumors, Athletic would be willing to negotiate payment terms with the Germans, but not with Barcelona. What kind of conspiracy is this? Because it smells like Athletic wants to punish Barcelona for daring to sign their star. But here's the latest news, Bilbao. Nico doesn't want to go to Bayern. He turned down juicier offers because his dream is to play at the Camp Nou. So, no matter what you try to do to sabotage the transfer, it's already done. Nico is a Kules, and that's that. And then there's the hypocrisy. Athletic talks about values and family, but when a player decides to leave, they treat him like a traitor. What kind of respect is that? Nico hasn't said a word against Athletic. He has been professional, given his all on the field, and now he wants to grow. Instead of attacking him, they should be grateful for what he has done for the club. But no, they prefer to make a circus and blame Barcelona. Typical. Kules, we are facing a historic moment. Nico Williams is not just a transfer. He is a symbol of the rebirth of FC Barcelona. After years of economic problems, criticism, and doubts, Barcelona is once again becoming the club that makes the world dream. With Joan Laporta at the helm, Hansi Flick on the bench, and players like Nico, Yamal, PEDRI, and GAVI, this team is building something great, something that will make Real Madrid, Bayern, City, and all who stand in our way tremble. Nico is arriving at the best moment of his career, at just 22 years old with unlimited potential. He is the kind of player who not only wins matches but makes you jump off the couch with every move. His speed will destroy rival fullbacks, his dribbling will ridicule defenders, and his humility will conquer the supporters. Because, Kules, make no mistake, Nico is not just talent, he is also heart. He chose Barcelona above all else, and that makes him one of us. And beware, this is not just about Nico. This transfer sends a message to the rest of football. Barcelona is back. We are no longer the club that settles for crumbs or lives on nostalgia. We are FC Barcelona, the team that signs the stars of the future, dominates the league, aims for the Champions League, and Nico Williams is proof of that. When Barcelona wants, Barcelona can. Kules. Now, let's add a little more spice to this thunderbolt because the story of Nico Williams cannot be understood without talking about his brother Inaki Williams. These two are more than teammates at Athletic. They are family, inseparable, and their bond has been the heart of Lezama for years. But now, with Nico making the leap to FC Barcelona, there is an elephant in the room. What about Inaki? How is he living through this earthquake? And, above all, what does this mean for the legacy of the Williams brothers in Spanish football? Inaki, 30, is the soul of Athletic. He has spent his entire career at the club, played over 400 matches, scored over 100 goals, and his commitment to the red and white colors is undeniable. He is an idol in Bilbao, a symbol of loyalty in a football world where players change teams like shirts. But Nico, his little brother, has decided to take a different path, and that's where things get interesting. Because even if some in Bilbao want to paint Nico as a traitor, Inaki has come out to defend him. In a recent interview, Inaki said, "Nico is my brother, but he is also a man with his own dreams. I respect his decision and will always support him." Come on, Kules, that's class, that's maturity, that's brotherly love. But let's not fool ourselves, this must hurt Bilbao. Inaki and Nico were the pride of Athletic, the perfect example of their Cantera philosophy and Basque roots. Seeing Nico leave for Barcelona, the eternal rival in the imagination of many, is like losing a part of their identity. And even if Inaki stays, there are rumors that this drama could affect his relationship with the supporters. Some radical supporters are already wondering if Inaki knew about Nico's plans and did nothing to stop him. Seriously, now they are going to blame Inaki for his brother's decisions? That's what happens when passion becomes obsession. Kules, Athletic is losing its way. For Barcelona, on the other hand, this is a golden opportunity. Nico brings not only talent but a personal story that connects with the supporters. He is a humble guy of Ghanaian origin, raised in the Basque Country, who fought against racism and prejudice to reach the elite. His arrival at the Camp Nou is not just a sports transfer, it's a message of inclusion and ambition. And who knows, maybe in the future, Inaki could also end up at Barcelona. Even if it seems like a fantasy, football has many twists, and if Nico triumphs, he could open the door for his older brother. For now, Inaki remains in Bilbao, but Nico is already ours, and his legacy as a Kules is about to begin. Kules, if you are as excited as I am about this transfer, if you believe that Nico Williams is going to break it at Barcelona, leave a like and subscribe to the Barca Unfiltered channel. This is your home, where we defend FC Barcelona with passion and without filters. Subscribe now and hit the bell to not miss out on this Kules madness. Come on, we are the best supporters in the world. Now, Kules, let's talk about pure hard football, because the arrival of Nico Williams is not just a name on a contract, it's a key piece in Hansi Flick's plan. Since the German coach arrived at Barcelona, he has made it clear that he wants a fast, vertical team that is lethal in transitions, and Nico is the perfect player to realize this vision. Let's break down how Flick will use Nico and why this transfer can change everything for the 2025 to 2026 season. First, let's talk about the formation. Flick has opted for a 4-2-3-1 that maximizes the talent of young players. In this system, the wingers are fundamental. They must break through, create constant danger, and combine with the midfielders. Nico, with his devilish speed and ability to dribble in tight spaces, seems like he was designed in a lab to play under Flick's orders. At Athletic, Nico has already shown that he can shine in a more rigid system with less possession. Imagine what he will do at Barcelona, where he will have the ball 70% of the time and teammates like PEDRI and GAVI to link up with. Nico's position will undoubtedly be on the left flank. Although he sometimes plays on the right for the Spanish national team, we've seen his best version on the opposite flank, where he can cut inside with his strong foot and shoot or assist. This also solves a problem that Barcelona has had in recent years, the lack of a pure left winger. Ferran Torres has performed well but lacks consistency. João Felix, if he stays, is more of an attacking midfielder. Yanni Fati, although he is regaining his level, does not have Nico's explosiveness. With Williams on the left, Barcelona's attack gains depth, unpredictability, and, above all, goals. But the most exciting part is how Nico will connect with the rest of the team. At Euro 2024, Nico and LAMINE Yamal formed a deadly duo on the Spanish national team. Nico scored 2 goals and provided 4 assists, while LAMINE, at just 17 years old, was named the best young player of the tournament. Together, they destroyed defenses like those of France and Germany. Now, Flick has the opportunity to recreate this magic at the Camp Nou. Imagine Nico and LAMINE switching flanks, driving rivals crazy, with PEDRI threading millimeter-perfect passes and GAVI stealing balls to launch counterattacks. It's a spectacle that will make Barcelona regain its total football seal. And it's not just about the attack. Nico also brings defensive work. At Athletic, he was one of the players who pressed the most after losing the ball, something that Flick greatly appreciates. This means that Barcelona will be stronger in high pressing, something that in a match against teams like Real Madrid or Manchester City can make the difference. In summary, Nico is not just a star player. He is the missing ingredient Flick needed to cook up a championship-winning team. Get ready, Europe, because Barcelona is coming with everything. Cules, let's return to the drama because Athletic is not giving up. Although the transfer of Nico Williams is practically closed, the Bilbao club is playing dirty in a psychological war that deserves to be analyzed. From the official statement to the rumors leaked to the press, Athletic is trying everything to destabilize Nico and Barcelona. But stay calm, because here in Barcelona, we know how to handle these things, and we will dismantle their strategies one by one. First, Athletic's statement was a monumental mistake, a real shot in the foot that demonstrates a lack of vision and professionalism bordering on the absurd. Instead of accepting Nico Williams' departure as an inevitable reality of modern football, where players seek new challenges and great clubs like FC Barcelona always attract the best, Athletic decided to turn this transfer into a personal drama, almost a Greek tragedy. Their statement, laden with a melodramatic tone, presented Nico's decision as a frontal attack against the club, its supporters, and the supposed values they so champion in Bilbao. They literally said that Nico is one of their own and that those who criticize him do not represent Athletic. But come on, what are we talking about? Who exactly are those criticizing Nico? Because the supporters who vandalized Nico's mural in Baracaldo, painting his face with red spray paint and writing messages as lamentable as "You have lost our respect," are not extraterrestrials or infiltrators from another team. They are Athletic supporters, part of that very supporter base the club claims to defend. And instead of coming out with a clear, forceful, and unambiguous condemnation of these acts of vandalism, Athletic chose to play with ambiguity, releasing vague statements that commit no one and, deep down, fuel a narrative of victimization. This is not just a communication error, Cules, it's pure, hard manipulation. Athletic is trying to build a narrative in which Nico appears as the villain, the ungrateful one who breaks Bilbao's heart by choosing Barcelona, when the reality is much simpler. The club failed to manage the departure of its star. Instead of preparing its supporters for the possibility that Nico, a world-class talent, might receive irresistible offers, they preferred to cling to the fantasy that their Basques-only philosophy and family discourse would be enough to keep him eternally. But football doesn't work like that. Nico is 22 years old, an international star, he shone at Euro 2024, and he has the right to dream of playing at the Camp Nou, sharing the locker room with stars like LAMINE Yamal and PEDRI, and fighting for the Champions League. And instead of respecting this ambition, Athletic decided to stoke its supporter base, letting rage and frustration overflow into acts as shameful as the vandalism of the mural. Then there are the leaks. From Bilbao, they have hinted that Athletic would be willing to negotiate payment terms with Bayern Munich or even Paris Saint-Germain, but not with Barcelona. What is this revenge? Because it smells like Athletic wants to punish Nico for choosing Barcelona and the club itself for daring to sign him. It's as if Barcelona said it only negotiates with certain clubs for the sale of LAMINE Yamal. It's a lack of professionalism. But Nico has already made it clear that his priority is Barcelona, and no cheap maneuver will change that. And then there's the issue of social pressure. Some Basque media close to Athletic have started publishing articles about how Nico has disappointed the community and how his departure betrays the club's values. This is the lowest they could go. Nico is a 22-year-old guy who has given everything for Athletic, who has faced racist insults in rival stadiums while defending the red and white jersey, and now they treat him like a mercenary. Where are the values in that? Because attacking a player, a young man, for wanting to grow is not loyalty, it's pure resentment. Cules, the transfer of Nico Williams is not just an earthquake for Barcelona and Bilbao, it's a message to the rest of the league. Yes, all of Europe. With this move, FC Barcelona is loudly declaring that it is back to dominate. Let's talk about how Nico's arrival affects the rivals, starting with Real Madrid, and why this transfer could be the boost Barcelona needed to reclaim the throne. First, Real Madrid. The Whites have been living in a bubble since they signed Kylian Mbappé, thinking no one would challenge them in the league. But beware, because Nico Williams at Barcelona changes the game. Nico is the kind of winger who can destroy defenses like those of Dani Carvajal or Lucas Vázquez with his speed and dribbling. And unlike Vinicius Jr., Nico has the humility and defensive work ethic that make him more complete. In the Clásicos, Nico could be Ancelotti's nightmare. Imagine Nico and LAMINE YAMAL running on the counterattack against a Madrid defense that no longer has the solidity of yesteryear. It's a guaranteed spectacle. But it's not just Madrid. In the league, teams like Atlético de Madrid, Girona, or Real Sociedad will suffer with Nico. His ability to break through one-on-one and generate scoring opportunities will be a headache for any coach. And in Europe, things get even more interesting. Teams like Bayern Munich, who also wanted Nico, will now have to face him in the Champions League. Imagine a Barcelona-Bayern match with Nico dribbling past Joshua Kimmich or Dayot Upamecano. It's the perfect revenge against those who tried to steal him from us. Cules, let's talk about us now, because FC Barcelona supporters are living in absolute ecstasy with this transfer. Since the news leaked that Nico Williams was close to Barcelona, social media has exploded. On X, the hashtags #Nicocule and #ViscaBarca have been trending worldwide. The memes against Athletic, the jokes about the vandalized mural, the videos of Nico dribbling in the Spain jersey, it's a total party. And at Barca Unfiltered, as good Cules, we will analyze how the supporters are experiencing this thunderbolt. At the Camp Nou, the anticipation is at its peak. The socios are already clamoring for Nico to be presented as soon as possible, with a ceremony befitting a player of his caliber. There are rumors that the club is preparing a special event at the stadium, with giant screens, music, and even a video message from Nico for the Cules. And it's no wonder, because this transfer has reignited the hopes of a supporter base that has suffered a lot in recent years. After the economic problems, the departures of Messi, and the disappointments in the Champions League, Nico is the spark we needed to dream big. In the Barca fan clubs around the world, the reaction has been just as intense. In Latin America, where Nico has many fans for his electric style, supporters are already buying jerseys with his name, even though it's not yet official. In Asia, match schedules are being adjusted so supporters can watch Nico in action. And in Catalonia, people are talking about him as if he were already an idol. It's incredible how a 22-year-old guy has managed to unite such a demanding supporter base as ours. But there are also debates among the Cules. Some wonder if Nico will be able to handle the pressure of playing for Barcelona, where every match is a final and every mistake is amplified. Others think his arrival could generate internal competition with players like Rafinha or Ferran Torres. But frankly, Cules, these are luxury problems. Having Nico, LAMINE, Rafinha, and company fighting for a spot will only raise the level of everyone. And with Flick on the bench, we know that no one will have a guaranteed spot. This is Barcelona, and here, you play at 200% or you don't play. And now, Cules, let's send a clear message to all the haters, because we won't stay silent. From Athletic supporters crying over Nico to Madrid fans saying Mbappé is better, to the media trying to destabilize Barcelona with absurd rumors, everyone gets their dose of reality with this transfer. So, let's put them in their place, because at Barca Unfiltered, we don't beat around the bush. To those at Athletic, first, stop playing the victim. Nico didn't betray you, he simply chose to grow. Vandalizing murals, insulting him on social media, releasing incendiary statements, is that what you call values? Because it looks more like resentment than pride. Nico didn't kill anyone. He just chose to fulfill his dream of playing for the best club in the world. Athletic, instead of calming the spirits, poured oil on the fire. They released a very harsh official statement, saying that those who vandalized the mural do not represent the club and that disrespecting one of their own is disrespecting Athletic. But come on, what are we talking about? Who exactly are those criticizing Nico? Because the supporters who vandalized Nico's mural in Baracaldo, painting his face with red spray paint and writing messages as lamentable as "You have lost our respect," are not extraterrestrials or infiltrators from another team. They are Athletic supporters, part of that very supporter base the club claims to defend. And instead of coming out with a clear, forceful, and unambiguous condemnation of these acts of vandalism, Athletic chose to play with ambiguity, releasing vague statements that commit no one and, deep down, fuel a narrative of victimization. This is not just a communication error, Kules, it's pure, hard manipulation. Athletic is trying to build a narrative in which Nico appears as the villain, the ungrateful one who breaks Bilbao's heart by choosing Barcelona, when the reality is much simpler. The club failed to manage the departure of its star. Instead of preparing its supporters for the possibility that Nico, a world-class talent, might receive irresistible offers, they preferred to cling to the fantasy that their Basques' only philosophy and family discourse would be enough to keep him eternally. But football doesn't work like that. Nico is a 22-year-old guy who has given everything for Athletic, who has faced racist insults in rival stadiums while defending the red and white jersey, and now they are treating him like a mercenary. Where are the values in that? Because attacking a player, a young man, for wanting to grow is not loyalty, it's pure resentment. To the Madrid fans who won't stop talking about their Mbappé, relax. Mbappé will be a star, but Nico is the future. While you spend 200 million on a single player, Barcelona is building a young, hungry team with a cool soul. Nico and LAMINE YAMAL will be better than Vinicius and Mbappé in 2 years, mark my words. And when they destroy them in the next Clásico, don't come with excuses. Barcelona is back, and you know it. And to the media that always looks for the dark side of Barcelona, enough. Every time the club takes a step forward, you come up with rumors of problems with the league, debts, or obstacles to the transfer. But here we are, closing a deal like Nico's without breaking a sweat. Joan Laporta and Deco have shown that they know how to pull the strings, and the league has already given the green light to register Nico. So, stop making things up and start talking about real football. Barcelona doesn't need your drama. We have enough with winning titles. In summary, Kules, this transfer is a slap in the face to all those who doubted us. Nico Williams is proof that Barcelona remains the greatest club in the world, the one that attracts the best and makes millions dream. And to the haters, we say only one thing. Keep talking, because we will keep winning. Visca el Barça. Kules, what a moment we are living. Nico Williams is blue and garnet, Athletic is in shock, and FC Barcelona continues to show why we are the best club in the world. This transfer is a statement, a declaration of intent. With Nico, LAMINE YAMAL, and company, the future is ours. And to Athletic, stop crying. Football is like this, the great ones always attract the best, and Nico has chosen the Camp Nou to make history. If you are a true Kules, if you bleed blue and garnet, if you believe that Nico Williams is going to break it at Barcelona, subscribe to Barca Unfiltered, click the button, hit the bell, and join the Kules family that defends the club with passion and without half measures. Leave in the comments what you think about Nico's transfer. Do you think he will be the best winger in the world? Or what would you say to Athletic supporters who are making such a drama? I want to read your opinions in the comments. This is Barca Unfiltered, and here, we are Kules till death.